So hold on. This is called a follow-up question. So you didn't answer my question. And what you
the question was, you said we have a good backcourt and a good starting
I said how
forward.
much turnover will we see, and then you gave me
I
whatever
said,
you gave me.
I don't know.
Okay, don't know is fair enough.
I don't know.
So when can we ask you when you'll know?
Probably not. Probably can't.
I can't. That means you'll
Because
never.
because I can't answer it now.
Yeah.
And after the draft, I don't really need to spend energy. People will see what we do or don't do, and hopefully we'll be judged on that. And I understand you got to do what you got to do, and hope that you can respond.
So you mean
to it.
even after Jeff, we couldn't call you or text you
Here's the
live?
thing I've learned about Here's the thing I've learned. We will be
You need to
judged
calm
on
down.
what we do or don't do, right? And how it plays out.
Sure.
And I understand getting ahead of it is part of what you want to do, which I understand too. But until I know or until we know the direction we want to go in, it's hard to guess. Will we know on June 30th? Yeah. Am I going to tell the whole world? Probably not, because unfortunately we're in a very competitive environment. And we try to be transparent. I try to be transparent. What I've learned in free agency is it doesn't even matter what I think right now. It's not going to happen. It just doesn't. I learned that as an agent. What you think someone's going to make, they make less, they make more. What you think you're going to do, it never. I can go back and tell you stories. I didn't think we were getting Iguodala if you looked at 2.5 years ago from here or whenever that was. But we will do this. We will try to bring back a team as good or better. That's not that exciting of an answer, but that's really the simplicity of it.
Fair enough.
Did you get to before he departed?
I said my sad goodbye after we lost. Yeah, I think he's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And how will the coaching staff potentially line up?
That's something we tried to. We did look at, but not we didn't give that amount of attention it deserves because we were still playing. And Steve, it's very hard for a head coach to make that determination while we're in season. And so we thought about it. We have some ideas, but it's not close to conclusion right now. But it's very important, and we're going to miss Luke, and I don't think you can replace Luke for what he brought tactically and also character-wise. He will be really missed. He's a fantastic guy. He's got a bright future. But part of being successful means you're going to lose people, and hopefully he won't be the last coach we lose as much as we want to keep coaches.
Bob, has what year changed at all since before the finals began?
No, because when you're so close, I mean, what we have to remember in the front office, we didn't not make the playoffs. We didn't win 50 games. We didn't lose in the second round. We didn't lose in the third round. We lost in the NBA Finals in the 7th game. So we still lost, and we didn't win a championship, which is what everybody's trying to do. So we have to remind ourselves how close we were and that's the honest truth. It's not an emotional thing. The truth is we were that close. We didn't win. How do we then take that information? But I don't think it will change how we draft. Even if we were sitting here right now with a parade, it doesn't change who we draft. And it actually shouldn't change a ton of other things either. But it's hard not to get swept up in that current.
Yep.
Because in this society, you win or you're everybody else. And right now we're everybody else. So you have to be strong enough and disciplined enough to not overreact to making decisions.
Do you get a sense from the climate is that free agents now look at this as a potentially desirable location where 10 years ago that was not the case?
Yeah, we've gotten better there. I think we were not so good. We are in a really good place, I think, as far as people viewing us as a successful, because we won for no other reason. If you win, you're deemed successful in this industry. And then also, I think our players, not many, but our players and coaching staff have cultivated a style that is attractive to players and a locker room and a feel that people want to be a part of, which is maybe winning's the most important thing. If you win, players want to win. But I know from many years ago and that was a goal of ours, to become a place where players might want to play. And in a business that's very competitive, that's important to establish that.
Well, knowing that, is it wrong to say that you guys are going to be super aggressive in free agency? Is that incorrect?
No, I think here's the thing I would say to that. Joe's aggressive every single day. It's not going to change. You could ask he's always aggressive. He's aggressive when he wakes up in the morning. He's aggressive when he goes to bed. We were aggressive last year, and we didn't really do anything in free agency. But it doesn't mean we're not aggressive. Aggressive is a mindset that he brought to ownership that trickles down to myself and everything we do. But how someone hears that word, how we all hear that and process it is different. We're always going to try and be better, but sometimes, like last summer, we won a championship and didn't do anything really. We brought back the same team. Some people might have said that was something we shouldn't have done. We didn't really do anything. When I would say, well, we signed Draymond, we brought back Barbosa, and the team actually, in some ways, was better. Didn't win a championship, so maybe we weren't. But as far as making the right decisions in the offseason, we made sound decisions without being what some people would call aggressive. They probably would have called it passive. But it doesn't mean you're not looking aggressively. Sometimes you look aggressively and don't do anything. So I would say Joe will never take a passive approach, which we're fine with. It's all about making prudent decisions and working very hard to get it right. You can be aggressive in your work, but sometimes it doesn't play out as far as transactions go.
Would you say that like day free agents we talked about is a real possibility?
I don't know. It could be. I mean, it could be. I don't know what a real possibility is as we look forward. I really don't right now. But like I said, I've learned that in free agency, everybody's trying to do the same thing in the NBA. They're all trying to get better. So are we. I'm sure even Cleveland wants to be better. Everybody wants to be better because if you're not getting better, you're probably getting worse. So we'll measure continuity against what other options present themselves and make the best determination we can. What I feel the best about is we've got great leadership from our coaching staff. We've got an owner that is willing to spend and has shown he's willing to spend. We were in the tax this year. We have a group that places a high priority on winning. I think there's a lot of really positive things. The only thing we didn't do was win a championship. So hopefully we have that opportunity again. And we know that talent is, in this sport, usually is indicative of how far you go and what you're able to do. And we were right there. But until we get closer to free agency and you really see what your options are, it's hard to say what we will or won't do.
Maybe the most emotional decision, players that are on your team who are restricted free agents who didn't play so well in the finals. Is it hard to look at Harrison Barnes and Vestas as at least separate from what they did in the finals, or is that part of the equation too?
No, I mean, like I said, I can't really answer that because I'm not equipped to answer anything in regards to what we're going to do in free agency because we have the draft in 48 hours. But I like all our players. I think they did a great job in different ways. I mean, it's very hard, the NBA Finals. I mean, great players have good and bad games in the NBA Finals. So I know we're all measured in those moments, but both those guys have been great for us and have helped us get to where we are, and you can't forget all the things that they did to get us here. So we're going to be careful on how we evaluate things and not evaluate things based on one game or 4 games or 6 games. We're going to evaluate it on the entire career and a lot of things we know about people that maybe somebody else doesn't that are important. Young players can always get better, and they do usually get better, especially when they have good work ethic. So we're going to be smart about it and take our time and hopefully make all the right decisions.
Is he not going to play Summer League, and is he on schedule, behind, or ahead of schedule?
Did you do anything?
On Looney?
Yeah, did you?
He's won't play in summer
But-
league. Our doctors are saying he's making really good progress, and the goal will be for him to be ready early next season, whether that's training camp or start of the regular season. We're not.
Yeah, I only asked him because I thought we released, or I thought you said something. But in any event, we probably won't play. No, not going to play in summer league. Wish he could, but he can't. And then hopefully training camp he's ready to go.
Are there any surgeries that you know of for some of the guys that we know?
No, that's the
Bogut,
good news.
Yeah.
No surgeries on the table for anybody, which is really good. A lot of times at the end of the season, you do find that being the case. But
Do you do a recheck with these guys?
yeah, we did yesterday when they did their exit physicals, and then they do exit interviews with myself. But no, which actually that makes me feel a little better. Usually you don't have that. Good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Bob.
Appreciate it.